I'm going to try and ride through a big patch of hills. This kind of looks like Botswana. And today is one of those days. Later in the afternoon, my navigation problems began. Oh, this could be it. After reaching the coast at Tenere, I found I was no longer getting mobile coverage. It's too frustrating and tedious a story to bore you with, but I was told by the mobile provider that I had to return to Piura, my starting point for my ride north up the coast to Ecuador, to see the government mobile regulator. That meant backtracking 2.5 hours, which was disappointing to say the least. Having had to go back to Piura, I decided to make the most of it and plot a return route to the coast via the hills to the north. It looked like pretty country, and from what I could figure out on satellite images, there should be a route through the ranges. I also took the opportunity to stock up on food and water. Personal salad mix. That's refreshing, isn't it? Because I find salad can be so impersonal these days. Striking out north now, and I'm going to try and ride through a big patch of hills, which looks really fun. Like, it looks like it's going to be nice riding. And then I'll hook off to the west and end up pretty much where I left, north of Tenere there somewhere. But what you see on Google Earth and what you see on the ground doesn't have to be the same thing, or isn't always the same thing. So it'll be interesting to see if I can actually get through where I plan to go. It looks like station country, so cattle stations and some sort of wild scrub as well. So there may be a bit of fence, maybe a few fences, there might be a few problems. But anyway, I'm going to have a look. North of the city of Solana, across the Piura River, which supports extensive agriculture in the otherwise dry district. Oh, nice one. Just throw your rubbish in the creek. What's that teaching your daughter? Oh, I finally made it out of the traffic. Banana, anyone? You don't have to get far from the river for things to start to dry out. What's going on here? Mango prunings. Oh no, not mangoes. Okay, they were running. What the hell I'm doing? Yeah, I had a look. Piura gets about 320 mils a year, so not arid, but semi-arid. And I guess if the rain's pretty seasonal, it can get pretty dry. This kind of looks like Botswana. Early on in the ride, navigation was easy. Following a creek bed, the track clearly got regular use as a link between the last of the small towns and the outlying farms to the north. When I'm out riding, lunches can be pretty ordinary affairs. I usually don't make much effort, and sometimes I skip them altogether. But every now and then I'll get myself organised and I have something really nice for lunch. And today is one of those days. Yeah, I've got my picnic table set up. Tortillas with a bit of cheese there. That's that special cheese that doesn't require refrigeration because I don't think it contains any dairy.
a few salad leaves, bit of leftover mayo from last night, and some mildly spicy lentils. Oh, look at them. Oh, spilt most of them. There we go. That looks all right. Carefully wrap him up. That's great. Here, I'll make you one.
Too much fun.
After lunch, things were still looking good. I was ticking off the waypoints and feeling confident about the route I had planned. Further into the range, I would reach a river with permanent water, and with the weather being warm, I was hoping to find a spot for a swim. More than a few times, the scenery reminded me of the rangeland country in Central Australia. The hills began to get a little steeper as I wound my way into the ranges. Later in the afternoon, my navigation problems began. I reached an intersection, and taking the most likely fork, I ended up at a small farm. Apart from a few donkeys, one small furry dog, and one big fierce-looking guard dog that was thankfully chained up, there was no one around. It seemed to be a dead end, so I returned to the fork and reassessed. After returning to the intersection, I went back to the farm to check if I had missed a track beyond the house. Nothing looked obvious, so back to the fork I went to check my maps and GPS one more time. I figured I must have missed a through track at the farm.
Yeah, it's me again. Third time lucky. Bit of guidance wouldn't hurt. What about you, Scruffy? Can you help? It's going to send this guy off his head again. Okay. Oh, this could be it. Looks like it continues. I don't know. Oh shit! Really took me off. Time for a scout. Yeah, I've come about a couple of 100 metres down this little gully, and yeah, that's not going to happen. What a shitter. Well, that's always the risk when you going off satellite maps, trying to pick out what's a track and what's not. I thought there was a way of getting through from here to a waypoint to the north, but there isn't. So that's a real shame. So that means I'm not going to get my swim, that's for sure. And I'm going to have to backtrack for the third time and head due west. So there's a road that goes through there. Doesn't look as interesting, and yeah. But anyway, I'm getting weary, so I reckon I'll turn around, go through the farm for the 147th time, and just head back to where I turned around. Keep going a bit till I find a nice camp and call it a day. It's getting on now, so yeah, I need a bit of a sit down and a feed, I reckon. Little mate, don't you say a thing, don't you even look at me.
I tried the track that headed west, checking to see if it doubled back or maybe split off towards my waypoints. It did neither, and my GPS told me that the track didn't go through the range, but rather stopped at a farm a few kilometres further on. Although I was tired and getting a bit frustrated, the country was really pretty in the late afternoon light.
Okay, well, I've had a bit of a walk, and farmhouse with the donkeys, riverbed, and there's the track there heading up the hill. So I'm going to have to use down the creek bed, and it's really soft sand, so that's going to be a struggle for me.
I rode down the creek bed, and although I eventually found where the track used to continue, it was no longer passable. There was nothing to do but admit defeat and set up camp for the night.
Nice, quiet, cool morning this morning. So, last night I went for a walk down that canyon. So I ended up finding a road marker, which was really weird because there'd been no traffic down there for a long time. It's basically just down the riverbed, and yeah, I found it, and then I thought, oh great, you know, I can make it through after all, and I'll get to where I was hoping to get to. But then when I walked up the bank from where the marker was, it was just literally goat tracks, and it looked like big sort of erosion gullies had just washed away what was left of the road. So I walked around there for probably about an hour last night, and I could not find a way through. So yeah, sad to say, probably going to have to turn back and go back the way I came, which is a real shitter because it looked like really nice country further on, and good riding too, and you know, good challenge, but it's just not going to happen.
So yeah, it was a bit of a bummer not being able to go all the way through as I'd hoped, but still, if you've got to go back the same way, it's a pretty fun track to do it on.
didn't know it at the time, but the fact that I couldn't continue with my planned route meant that I was about to have one of those chance experiences that make travel so rewarding.
I was just stopping in this little town, La Noria, just to have a snack and a bit of a breather, and this young bloke Samir stopped to see if I was okay and came to talk to me, and we've just had a chat for about an hour using Google Translate, and he rides motocross and he's involved a lot in kids sport here and stuff, so but he's invited me to come and see a conservation reserve nearby that his family owns and runs. So yeah, lucky me, looking forward to it. It's gorgeous, so shady and cool too compared to out in the sun. It's pretty toasty today, but this is just beautiful in here.
Hi, my name is Isan. Bueno, nos encontramos ahorita en el bosque El Pozo, que son al menos 17, 18 hectáreas de bosque. El último bosque de algarrobo del norte del Perú, el bosque seco ecuatorial. Esto un desafío, pues, cuidarlo aquí. Tenemos especies como el algarrobo, el faique, el cuncú y varias especies de aves, reptiles y algunos mamíferos. Tenemos tanto como el puma como el venado, que es una área de conservación aquí en Marcabelica, la Noria Marcabelica. Y es increíble, pues, por lo que se mantiene viva mucha vida aquí. Y siempre he venido aquí a visitar. Al igual que hay agua, podemos encontrar agua subterránea, que es donde da la vida a estos árboles. Y es increíble visitar hoy también, que nos visite hoy Jin, aquí en Piura, Perú, la Noria.
After visiting the reserve, Samir took me to a traditional Peruvian fish restaurant for lunch. Not only was the food delicious, but I got a big cultural lesson about local cuisine too.
Chicharrón, ceviche. Chicharrón de pescado y ceviche de filete de pescado blanco. ¿Ya? De ahí tenemos ají y mayonesa. Son para estos condimentos. El ceviche se come solo, con este ají nomás. Si tú quieres echar aquí, echas aquí, si quieres más picante. Ajá. Lo puedes combinar con las botanas, que son el mismo chifle. Y bueno, el ceviche tiene composición de pescado, de cebolla, yuca, maíz, col, de ahí tenemos diferentes como maíz, de ahí el mismo chifle que he estado comiendo. Ajá. Y también tenemos las mismas legumbres, ya también se echa. Es un plato muy grande, y lechuga, y ají que va, y también el cilantro. Ajá, cilantro que se llama acá, pero es cilantro. Ajá, ajá. Y acá después plátano maduro. Aquí son dos tipos de plátano. Dos tipos de plátano. Esto mayormente es como traído de Asia. De Papúa Nueva Guinea, por lo que es más. Esto sí es más americano, por ejemplo, más sudamericano. Ese es el plátano que mayormente los traen acá y los pueden exportar. Y esa es la chicha morada, que es el jugo del maíz morado. Lo mismo que es de este choclo, pero el choclo es morado, color morado, ese color como se ve. Y es la base de muchas bebidas que tenemos aquí, dulces. Muy bien.
So today certainly didn't turn out as I expected, but for the best. And after meeting Samir, we spent the afternoon at a really nice traditional Peruvian fish restaurant, and we had a good feed there and a great chat. And then he sort of led me through the small towns out to the highway, and took me to the servo and made sure I was fine, and gave me directions. And just a genuinely really nice bloke, really friendly, really welcoming. I was the first Australian to ever visit their restaurant, so they wanted lots of photos with me, and it's one of those days where you feel like a minor celebrity even though you haven't actually done anything to earn it. But yeah, what a great day that was. Whoops, gonna hit this one a bit fast. So now I'm on the main drag through to the coast again after not having been able to get through my mountain track that I was hoping to navigate. And yeah, plan is to spend a few days on the coast and hopefully do a bit of surfing.
I ended up spending just over a week enjoying the left-hand point breaks at Lobitos and Los Órganos on Peru's northwest coast. After that, it was only a short ride north to the next country on my South American journey, Ecuador. G'day everyone, Jim here. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Please give this video a like, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate your support.